Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over my picks for 10 vehicles that everybody should own in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now before we get into the video, if you enjoy, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Let's shoot for 5,000 likes on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. I'm trying to hit 300k this year and I need your help to do it. So if you enjoy the content, consider subbing. Let's go ahead and get started with number 10. At number 10, we have the Bravado Dorado Cruiser coming in at $3,753,750 if you got the trade price, and if you don't, it's going to go all the way up to $5,005,000, which is a crazy amount of money. However, the Bravado Dorado Cruiser is a lot of fun. It's easily the most capable of the 3 new police cars that we've gotten so far from the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's got a little bit of customization and somewhat decent performance. I think being that it is off-road capable is a really great feature to have for roleplay scenarios and having fun. I know I'm going to be using this a lot with our Manhunt series that we do every week. All of the police cars, including the Dorado, also now have access to the dispatch work that can be launched when inside a personal police vehicle, and it takes roughly 5 minutes to complete these, and it will pay you 25 grand per mission that you complete. So at least there is a little bit of a reason to own a police car now, and if you want one of the 3 new ones that have been released into GTA Online, I would say make sure to get the Bravado Dorado Cruiser. I think it is truly the best. Next up at number 9, we have a little bit of a throwback. This is the HVY Insurgent Pickup Custom, coming in at $1,350,000 if you have the trade price for the Insurgent Pickup on Warstock. However, if you don't, it's going to run you $1,795,000 without the trade price. Now, it is going to cost you an additional $202,500 for the upgrade from the regular Insurgent Pickup into the custom variant, and you can upgrade it within a mobile operations center or an Avenger, so long as you have the vehicle workshop upgrade for either of those vehicles. The Insurgent Pickup Custom is an absolute tank. It can take 9 RPGs or 27 homing missiles before it blows up, which is pretty crazy. It can also be equipped with a proximity mine dropper as well as heavier armor plating. However, this will restrict the use of weapons for the internal occupants of the vehicle if you go for the heaviest armor that is possible on the vehicle. The main feature of the Insurgent Pickup Custom though is the top mounted machine gun that outputs a crazy amount of damage, and depending on the armor level that you select, the top gunner also gets some additional protection to make it a little bit harder to take them out. The vehicle can also hold up to 9 players, so if you play with a lot of friends, this is a very ideal vehicle to have, especially if you guys are into PvPing. It's a really cool truck. I think this thing's absolutely awesome. You can make it look so cool. Definitely look into the Insurgent Pickup Custom. I think it's truly a great vehicle. Next up at number 8, we have the F-160 Raiju coming in at $5,141,250 with the trade price. Now, if not, it's going to run you $6,855,000. The F-160 Raiju is from last summer's LS Mercenaries update, and it is by far the best fighter jet in Grand Theft Auto Online in terms of overall usefulness. Not necessarily the best dogfighter ever, but it is up there for sure. It does have the best acceleration out of all the fighter jets, as well as it also has a really insane top speed as well. It's also extremely maneuverable while also being armed with homing missiles as well as dual explosive guns, which is pretty sweet. It also comes with a VTOL mode, which is great, and it is far more controllable than other VTOL planes like the Hydra, for example, making it a little bit easier to land this thing in tight spaces as well as take out targets with it while in hover mode. But by far the best feature of the F-160 is the fact that it has a toggleable stealth mode similar to the Akula attack helicopter. This allows you to completely disappear from the minimap as well as the expanded pause menu map. This plane is absolutely awesome, and it is a must-have in Grand Theft Auto Online, especially if you're into planes and if you want to do some PvPing. It's also very good just as a solo player in terms of its overall usability. There's nothing that can get you across the map faster than an F-160 Raiju. You will need a hangar in order to be able to buy it and upgrade it though, and you're going to need the hangar workshop as well. So do keep that in mind for sure. At number 7, we have the Ubermacht Cypher coming in at $1,162,500 to $1,550,000 if you don't have the trade price. The Ubermacht Cypher has been out since the Tuners DLC from the summer of 2021. However, it has been updated to now have the drift tuning upgrade, allowing you to drift the car much easier and also enter into the drifting races. Now, alongside the Cypher, the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic Widebody and Volcar Nebula Turbo have also been updated to feature this new upgrade as well. So if you're into drift cars, the Cypher or the Nebula Turbo or the Sentinel Classic Widebody are all drift tunable cars now. So these might be something that you want to check into. They are a lot of fun to drive. The reason that I picked the Cypher for this video is because I just like the Cypher the best personally, but the Sentinel Classic Widebody has a ton of customization alongside the Cypher, so either of them are really good options. The Nebula Turbo is not my favorite, but it is still pretty cool to have the new drift tuning on that vehicle. Next up at number 6, we have the Oppressor Mark II, coming in at $6 million if you got the trade price. Now, if not, it's going to run you $8 million. Now, you will also need a terabyte in order to be able to upgrade your Oppressor Mark II, and that is going to run you $1,375,000 just for the basic terabyte, plus $495,000 to be able to actually upgrade the Mark II. Now, I used to be a serial hater of the Oppressor Mark II, but now that you can sell in invite-only lobbies, I think I can condone purchasing it for the simple fact of convenience for grinding money and getting missions done super quickly. The missiles have also been nerfed on it, so in PvP it's not nearly as effective as it once was, but they're still good enough to take out NPCs, and you can still cause some trouble in PvP with them if need be. The Mark II is super convenient though. It is a grinder's best friend. I personally own one just for the use in videos, but other than that, I don't really like this thing. Anyways, that's it for the Oppressor Mark II at number 6. On to number 5. And at number 5, we have another brand new vehicle. We have the Ubermacht Niobe, or Niobe, however you want to say it, coming in at $1,880,000. The Niobe is a brand new sports class vehicle that has been added with the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC into Grand Theft Auto Online. It has an HSW upgrade for those of you playing on the Xbox Series S or X and the PlayStation 5. With HSW, I have heard it's an absolute demon. I unfortunately haven't tried it out myself yet because I haven't set up my Xbox since I moved. This thing pairs insane speed with pretty decent handling on top of that, and it's also all-wheel drive, allowing you to get a pretty good launch as well as go through the corners relatively quickly. It also has an absolute ton of customization, which we do love to see, of course, and it is based off the BMW i8, and I think it looks really, really good and very, very realistic. Overall, it's a really good car. You guys should definitely look into this one. At number 4, we have the Declassy Weaponized Tampa, coming in at $1,585,000 to $2,108,050. The Weaponized Tampa is a pretty underrated vehicle in GTA Online. You can use it in most contact and heist missions, which allows for taking care of enemies really easily, especially once you have the dual controllable minigun unlocked through bunker research. It's actually one of the most well-armed ground vehicles in the entire game. It also has access to front-mounted missiles, a rear-facing mortar, and a proximity mine dropper on top of the top-mounted minigun or miniguns, depending on which upgrade you've got. Now, all of this stuff is unlocked through bunker research, which is pretty unfortunate. It also gets upgraded to have all-wheel drive instead of being rear-wheel drive like the regular old Declassy Tampa. Now, if you are going to purchase it, you may want to consider getting some of the unlocks to improve it through bunker research done first, because that is going to be a huge problem. If you buy this thing and you don't have any of that stuff done, you're not going to be able to unlock this thing's full potential, and you might feel like it was a little bit of a waste of money. Overall though, it's a really good vehicle. You just have to invest some time and money into bunker research before you purchase it. At number 3, we have the Enos Paragon S, coming in at $2,010,000. Not a bad price, honestly, overall. The Enos Paragon S is yet another brand new sports class vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online that was added with the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC. This one, unlike the Ubermacht Niobe, has Imani Tech as opposed to HSW. It can only be upgraded with Imani Tech at the Agency Vehicle Workshop, in case you were wondering. It does have an armor plating upgrade as well as a missile lock-on jammer and an oil slick proximity mine dropper. Unfortunately, unlike some of the other Imani Tech cars, it does not have bullet-resistant windows, sadly. However, the performance of the car is quite good. It is all-wheel drive, which means it gets a great launch, and also has really good acceleration. The top speed isn't the highest ever, but it's still pretty darn quick. The biggest issue that I have with the car is the handling. The rear end seems to be extremely likely to break loose and cause you to spin out. However, in my second time driving it, I did find it to be a little bit better. Maybe I just got a little bit more used to the car, but it seemed to be less of an issue than when I first drove it. Now, one other issue that I have with the car is that certain customization options aren't exactly complete. Like when you're scrolling through the exhaust options on this car, and the passenger side exhaust tips are completely missing from the vehicle, but the exhaust smoke is still coming out, which is quite weird, as well as the passenger side secondary color mirror option not changing the mirror color away from primary, which is very, very strange. Overall though, still a good looking car with a pretty decent performance and pretty good customization. Overall, I'm a fan of it, and I think you guys should definitely check this one out. Next up at number 2, we have the Sparrow, coming in at $1,815,000, but you will need to own the Kasatka submarine in order to buy it, and that is going to cost you $2,200,000. Of course, with the Kasatka, you can launch the Cayo Perico heist, which is a good reason to own it in the first place, but the Sparrow has also been buffed with the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC to have 50% more armor, allowing you to fly the Sparrow for longer and land a few more times before it inevitably starts smoking. It can also take a little bit more small arms fire now, which is of course really helpful, but the best feature about it is the convenience of being able to spawn it really close to you in a matter of just seconds. It's also got optional homing missiles or machine guns, and it's also quite fast to top things off as well. Overall, it is a really good little helicopter to own, and it is very, very convenient above all else. For an honorable mention for the list, we have the Pegassi Toreador, coming in at $4,250,000, of course having that price increase about a year ago from $3.66 million all the way up to $4.25. Still, the Toreador is an excellent vehicle overall. It does have 4 seats, it has a rocket booster, some of the best tracking missiles in Grand Theft Auto Online, while also being submersible and having enough armor to take several missiles before blowing up. It's a great vehicle for defending yourself in a PvP scenario, or just for simply getting around the map quickly while being able to navigate almost all terrain. Unfortunately though, it has been nerfed a little bit, and you can no longer use it in heists or heist setups, and you cannot use it in certain contact missions anymore. However, some missions you can still use it. Something to note though is that it is usable in every free mode mission, so that is a added bonus with the Toreador still. And of course, at number 1, as I'm sure many of you were probably expecting, we have the Ocelot Virtue, still here, still the king, coming in at $2,235,000 if you have the trade price, or $2,980,000 if you don't have the trade price. However, you can also get it for completely free. We're going to touch on that in just a minute here. But the Ocelot Virtue is an Imani Tech supercar that is available on all platforms. It has the best acceleration in the game short of rocket cars or HSW vehicles, and it is available for free like I said, but technically you actually get paid to get it by completing the first and last dose missions from the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. It is also purchasable on Legendary Motorsports as well, as I stated earlier, for those 2 prices. So it is a really, really good vehicle, and if you can get it for free, that is definitely the way to go. With the armor plating upgrade, it can take 12 RPGs or 12 homing missiles before it blows up. But being that it also has Imani Tech, you can also install the missile lock-on jammer, which will give you far more protection from homing missiles, of course. On top of this, it can also be equipped with an oil slick proximity mine dropper that you can drop down behind you to spin out pursuing adversaries. The Ocelot Virtue is a really, really awesome car. It's got some great customization. I think it's a good looking vehicle, and the performance is absolutely insane. Now, if you are playing on the newer versions of GTA Online with HSW cars, it might not be the fastest accelerating car anymore, but it still will give most vehicles a run for their money. It is just simply that quick. Anyway, guys, there you have it. Those are my picks for 10 vehicles that everybody should own in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike of course. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new and you want to see more content like this. Let me know what you thought of my video in the comment section down below. Are there any vehicles you'd switch out? I want to hear about it in the comment section. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.